All right, so we got Moose. We've been working a lot on heel. Um, I like the prong collar at times, and sometimes I really like throwing him on this long line here. It's a slip lead that is just got some good amount of length on it. And so what I've been doing with Moose is anytime he gets out of the heel position, I actually give him more leash, which I know sounds counterintuitive because the urgency that we sometimes feel when our dogs are getting out of the heel position is to tighten up on the leash, putting a lot of pressure on them to stay right here. But what I have found, especially when I'm introducing e-collar training, is um, once the dog starts to understand the position and they forge ahead, I let them go, and then maybe I step away, and he's learning, or he's like, oh, I got to fix it to maintain this position. So he did it there. There's no correction. But had he not, let's say he wasn't paying attention because there was a dog or a person or something else more exciting than I would send him out on the line, leave, creating more of a gap between him and I, and then I would start tapping on the e-collar button. So instead of putting pressure right here to keep him in position with me, it's all out there. And then when he comes back into position, all of the pressure goes away. And what happens is the dog feels better next to us. They feel more at peace. They feel less stress. There's no pressure. I mean, pressure, whether that's pressure to complete tasks, or sometimes we have things at work we need to get done, and so we feel this urgency, this pressure to complete those tasks. It works. It works on society. It works in behavior. It works in dogs. However, it can be misplaced and create some anxiety next to us where the dog is feeling stressed when they're healing, and then it actually over time breaks down the relationship we have with the dog, and then they're not going to want to listen as much, or they'll get desensitized to tools like pressure. We see this a lot with prong collar usage, where sometimes if a dog comes into training and they've been on a prong collar, the prong collar was used improperly, and there's so much pressure next to them all the time with the prong, and the dog learns to tune it out because it doesn't ever feel good to them to be with the owner. And so what happens is they desensitize to it as a defense mechanism. So we want to make sure that when we're using tools that for Moose, I mean, he's super sensitive. I've only been on a 4. I mean, sometimes he could go up to a 12 if he's like playing with other dogs, but he doesn't take a lot, which is fantastic. I don't want him to be overwhelmed with it. I just want it to communicate where he needs to be as we're walking. So he's been very pleasant to walk because he doesn't poop or pee on the walk naturally. I don't really worry too much about it. Typically what I do is I take him to the spot where he normally where poop and pee in my house. It's in the back of the turf by the rocks. He seems to go very consistently when I walk him over to it just off leash and tell him to go potty. He does. And yeah, he's been really good. So if I just make sure he goes potty at the end of the night, one more time before bed, most of the time it's between 9:30 and 10, he stays clean overnight. I have a bigger crate for him in the day if I am going to be gone, and then I put him in a little bit of a smaller crate at night still, just so that he feels more cozy and not getting up and have enough room to go pee and poop. But because it's smaller, I don't necessarily want him in that throughout the day because it's somewhat tiny. So if I need to leave for an appointment, or we got to get to the doctors or take the kids to school and I need to put them in the crate, I have them in a bigger one. So it seems to be easier for him, huh, Moose? He's a sweet boy, always happy to be with you.